WCNC Charlotte. This is Flashpoint, where power and politics collide and the tough questions get asked and answered.
Thanks for joining us here on Flashpoint. I'm Ben Thompson. Several big votes in front of Charlotte City Council this month, including the controversial 2040 plan, which would chart the path forward for Charlotte's growth. Also, council members could vote to give themselves raises. But first, it is Pride Month. City Council has come under fire for not passing a non-discrimination ordinance. Protests seen in Uptown ahead of their meeting just a few weeks ago. Charlotte led the state 5 years ago with one until the state knocked it down. Well, that ban expired a few months ago. And now, Chapel Hill, Durham, Greensboro, and other cities and towns across the state have passed inclusive protections. So why isn't Charlotte? Joining us today, Charlotte City Councilman Tariq Bokhari and Larken Eggleston. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming on.
Glad to be here.
A lot to talk about today. We've got the city budget. We've got the Charlotte 2040 plan that's made a lot of news. But being Pride Month, I want to start off with the fact that you had some folks who sort of protested outside of City Council last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, giving you guys a hard time, holding your feet to the fire because you guys have not passed a non-discrimination ordinance. And you've got Chapel Hill and a long list of other places in the state that now have. Our City Council 5 years ago led the way with this charge. Why have we not been able to pass something like this, considering that HB 142, the sunset on it expired like 6 months ago? Larken, I'll ask you that first.
I'm not going to make any excuses for the timeline. I wish we'd been able to do it by now, but it's not because we're not committed to doing it. They will get done, and right now we're aiming for August passage. We don't have meetings in July, but we're planning to do it in August. So no excuses for the slow timeline, but it's something that's important to us.
Tariq, in the past, some of the Republican members of City Council were skeptical of such an ordinance. Where do you fall on this?
Well, I mean, to answer your first question, it just falls into a laundry list of dumpster fires that we're in the middle of right now. So I think that's sucked all the oxygen out of the room for additional efforts. Funny enough, I knew that this day was coming, and I was tired of on the Republican side of this issue, us always continuing to be kind of caught, again, not involved in the conversations and not having come up with our own thoughts or positions. So I actually pulled together for the first time in the last decade, in my experience here, a group of our new young Republican leaders, one of which is LGBTQ. And I asked him and a group of them to come together and help us using Republican principles, see what we could get behind and what we could actually bring forth as additional ideas using our principles. They've come up with some amazing stuff. We've had a lot of working sessions. So when they are ready on the other side to have some dialogue on this, I can tell you we are very interested and passionate about bringing forth some of the thoughts we have proactively.
Would actually love to have them on Flashpoint, so keep us posted on that, because I actually think that's interesting to have both sides of the issue, but still supporting gay rights. On other issues, June 14th on the calendar, you're going to be voting on the budget. It includes millions of dollars for CMPD, affordable housing, arts programs hit hard by the pandemic. Good news for folks at home, the city does not plan to raise your taxes. That's a big deal. Everybody likes that. However, one item that is getting some scrutiny, raises for the mayor and for members of City Council. Before I go any further, I do feel like context is important. That when you compare Charlotte to other cities, you all are at the bottom of the list of pay, and the mayor is the bottom list of pay. Still, when you look at the numbers and you think, oh, a 50% pay increase, that sort of thing, it does catch people's attention. Why is the city manager recommending this? Tariq, I'll begin with you.
Well, he's recommending it because it was the easiest and most expedient way to get it jammed into the budget without all the council members who really want it looking like they actually called for it. So we forced and called for a vote of it, of which 9 voted yes in the straw vote and 2 voted against it. I have just a principled stance on this, which is real simple. I believe that serving in public office, whether it's city councilman or congressman, should be a sacrifice, and it should be something that we structure in every way possible, not to make a careerist type opportunity. And what I mean by that is someone who's making $20,000 a year and says, well, I could go over there and make $35,000 a year and get a raise. So what we want this to be is a sacrifice that we drop in from periods of time in our life. And that does not mean we don't want additional perspectives. We want all the perspectives. We just want to make sure this doesn't become a career position, and giving raises, whether they seem small in dollar amounts or not, is the wrong move around that front, in my opinion.
Tark, what do you say to people who say, though, that then prohibits a certain kind of person committing themselves to public office? Because if you're making not a lot of money in your normal job, at least this can offset this. And by doing this, you have a bunch of people who are upwardly mobile, have great careers otherwise, and you're not really getting a representative sample of Charlotte's population.
Well, you stole Larkin's rebuttal, and you can go and listen more of that in our latest podcast episode on R&D and the QC. But my punchline to that is real simple, and you can use me as a case study, right? I grew up in extreme poverty, yet through luck, through teachers, through family members, through friends, through hard work and opportunity, I was able to get myself out of there into a position where I could sacrifice a little bit of my life and give back. So I don't want the alternative universe Tark who didn't make it yet to think, oh, well, city council or county commission is where I'm going to go and do that. I want all those perspectives, different races, different sexes, different economic mobility storylines from the beginning. However, what I don't want is for people who are still going through that journey. I want those who have been successful that then can bring those perspectives to help others in the ways that they were helped themselves. So in my mind, that is a barrier of importance.
I mean, a lot of people would say that makes common sense. Larkin, why is he wrong?
Well, I mean, Tark's story of his life is great. It's not everyone's story, and I do think this opens the door to more people, for more people to serve. The small detail that was left out of that first explanation is that this was a unanimous recommendation from a citizen committee that the mayor formed last year around our governance structure, which had several things that came out of it. One of them was to raise our pay to parity with the county commissioners. It still puts us towards the bottom of the list of our peer cities. So we have not suddenly made this a lucrative job. And if you actually broke it down by the number of hours most of us spend, it would still probably be somewhere close to minimum wage. But the fact of the matter is this makes it a possibility for more people than it currently is. It does not put us anywhere near even the middle of our peer cities. And it was a recommendation from a bipartisan group of citizens that said, this is something we need to do to strengthen our city council.
I want to talk about the Charlotte 2040 plan because it's the most controversial issue facing you guys right now. It's basically a plan that's a roadmap for how the city is going to grow for the next 2 decades, which sounds nice and pleasant. And then you get into the details. There's things about the duplexes and triplexes and where single family houses are going to be and that sort of thing. You probably know the story by now. If you're a viewer of Flashpoint, you're familiar with it. Some are making this out to be now, including city staff, a choice between equity and the economy. Is that a fair choice of what this is, Larkin?
Well, I think one of the biggest problems with the discussion we've been having around the 2040 plan, and one of the biggest problems with everything we talk about in the political world, is that everything becomes binary somehow, and that you have to take a side and you either have to be for one thing or the other. And the fact of the matter is that this plan has things in it that are going to do great things for our community. It also has things in it that could pose challenges to our community. And so I think we've got to stop thinking that everything is just absolutely one way or the other and realize that there will be positive and negative impacts of nearly any policy we pass, certainly something as comprehensive as this, no pun intended. And I think we've got to figure out how do we maximize the potential positive outcomes while mitigating the potential negative outcomes. And we need to have a more nuanced conversation than simply we're choosing between the economy or equity in our community.
Is that what it comes down to for you, Tark?
Well, surprisingly not. It's hard, but I do agree. It's hard to say that it's a binary on-off for this in a position. I mean, and I say that because I think it's riddled with challenges all over the place. My closest binary option would be it's a choice between density and affordability. But that's not even fair because the real density that we're going to get, and of course, what I mean by that is the abolishment of single-family zoning. But beyond that, I can't fully say that because we're capping the height of buildings uptown. We're saying you have to use community benefit agreements to negotiate for height and density. So part of the plan says density is important, what the plan doesn't say is affordability is somehow contemplated. But the crux of the problem we have is, well, if it's only important if it's duplexes or triplexes. However, when we talk about where the real density is going to be built in by height, by multifamily units and projects and things of that nature, we are hamstringing the private sector in this front, who we need desperately to be able to actually make these things happen over the next 20 years. And we're treating people like the right to density is something that, is a present that we'll give you if you meet our demands, when density in itself is the benefit.
Larkin, how does this thing shake out in a couple of weeks?
Well, I think it's going to pass. But what I think is going to happen between now and then is what's been happening in the last couple of months, which is there's going to continue to be a dialogue between the people on council who are likely to vote yes for this, the people on council who are likely to vote no for this, and the community, to make this plan even better before we vote on it. So whether that ends up still being a 6-5 vote or not, I hope it doesn't, because I think that this is something that should move forward with more of a majority of council support. But we will continue to try to improve it, whether that yields more votes or not. And I do think it'll pass on the 21st.
All right, Tariq Bokhari, Larkin Nicholson. Gentlemen, thank you as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, more Flashpoint after this.